Good afternoon and welcome to Table Talk right here on 802 Scoop, located at 185 North Main Street in Barrie, the building that you can see through the windows now.
Wow, isn't that amazing?
Yes, Michael Deering and his son Oliver so kindly came down, and they worked hard, and it was not cool out by any means on Friday. They did it in the morning, and then it began to poured like hell, like maybe a half hour after.
Yeah.
I wrote Michael a message and I said, if that ruins the windows, I'm going to be pissed. But he said, don't worry, it'll repel right off. And it did.
Good.
So that I didn't want them to be so nasty and gross when Michael and I were sitting in the window trying to do the parade commentary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you come down at
I
all?
didn't. No.
You didn't make it down to the
No.
city this weekend? I figured that you would be up at camp,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of baseball and different things going on. I figured you'd be busy.
Anytime I can get out of town to the camp, I'll jump on it.
I don't blame you. I would too.
The peace and quiet of the Northeast Kingdom.
Exactly. If you can be on the water, then why would you hang out waiting here, right?
Right.
What'd you do this weekend?
A whole lot of nothing, really.
A whole lot of nothing?
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing.
Yeah. It's too hot to really do anything, you know?
I didn't do a lot either. I did go, I came down to the city for Posh Salons ribbon cutting and grand opening. They are now up and out of the Blanchard block, and they're right here on North Main Street in the old Ormsby's building.
Yep.
So it's super awesome to see Autumn and her entire team there. It's a beautiful space.
Good.
So it definitely has a lot of sunlight, where before she did not. So it's just a great space, and a great turnout for that. And then I came down here, and Michael and I were here for the parade, and then I went home, followed doctor's orders, believe it or not, and I went home and did what I was supposed to do for the rest of the day.
That's amazing.
I know. I was pretty shocked too.
Gotta write that down somewhere.
I wanted so badly to come back down to hear Trainwreck, watch the fireworks, stay a little while for Native Tongue, but because it's tradition, and I knew I wouldn't be able to walk all over the place. That was not going to happen. But then I worried if I could even get a parking spot close enough to do such a thing.
Yeah.
So I just stayed home and said, there's next year. It's not like it's never going to happen again. So
it seems like you know every year it's no problems, everything goes well. You know, Tracy does a hell of a job.
She does a hell of a job, and it was a really good weekend. I mean, all of the videos and comments and things that I've seen have been absolutely amazing. People had a really good time, and there was a lot of people down here.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people down here for the parade even, and they set the classic cars or hot rods, whatever, out on Main Street afterward. My Uncle Hank was there with his car, and he was in the parade, and then he was set up out here just across the street.
Nice.
And so that was nice to see all of that. And they had a lot of stuff for kids and everyone.
Yeah.
So it was a really good weekend, and I really didn't see where there was a huge mess. I mean, there was some trash here and there, but it really wasn't that bad
No, it's
compared
pretty
to a
good.
couple of years ago.
If they still do, see, we had a plan all set up when we first started doing these, and we would have some of our facilities guys and street department guys come in. It was like once in the middle, towards the end of the day, before the evening, and empty all the trash, and then they do it early in the morning. But they tried to do it, especially Sunday morning, because the churches would be open, so
Right.
we'd make a run through there, get everything picked up.
Yeah. And a couple of years ago, there's a woman in Washington Apartments, and her name is Claire, and I caught up with her, and we did a photo together on the steps of Washington Apartments. But she was over there first thing in the morning on Sunday after the Heritage Festival, picking up garbage that got left on the ground,
Yeah.
cigarette butts along the side of the road, and she did the entire park herself.
Really?
And all along that corridor on the
Yeah.
road, picking it up. And then Michael and I did from the park all the way down to Northfield Savings. We crossed the road, came all the way back up through. It did the back parking lot, and looped back around to the park. It was a long day, and we picked up a lot of stuff. But that just gets left on the ground, thrown
Yeah.
on the ground. Even the cones from cotton candy and water bottles, different
Yeah.
things that just get thrown not in the trash.
Yeah.
And it was a long day, but it was a good day. It was a good day to pick all of that up. But unfortunately, I couldn't do that this year either.
Well,
That was not something that
You
was
are
going to happen.
excused. You have a doctor's note.
Right, I
so-
have a good doctor's note too, but Claire was out there again, and she
Was she
sent me a
really?
message and said, "Do you know anybody coming down to help pick up, or is there anybody going to be down here picking up? If there is, I have extra grabbers." So she had gotten some extra grabbers to help out with that if need
Yeah.
be. So just a great person, and what a great thing to do, really.
Yeah.
I mean, she lives right there across the street in the apartments, and she really enjoys the park. So, yeah.
Wonder if she's in the upstairs where they can. I know they used to sit out on the porch.
Yes.
They used to sit out there and listen to the bands. And,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm actually not sure where she is
Yeah.
there, but I'm sure she does, though, because she loves
Yeah.
all of that. So she loves the park. So yeah, I mean, it was a great weekend, and now tomorrow night we're right back into the normal Wednesday night schedule where
Yeah.
there's the farmers market, the food trucks, and the concert. Hoping like crazy that the rain goes away. They're saying that it's going to go away between 3 and 4, and that it'll be out of here. There might be a sprinkler or two,
Yeah.
but I'm hoping that holds true. Because Chris Powers is going to be here, and he's one of my favorites. And Emsley, it's sponsored by Emsley's
Yep.
this week, and 802 Scoop will be there and be live for that.
all right.
Yeah, it'll be a good night for a concert, and best yet, it's going to be cooler.
I hope so. This
Yeah.
is, I don't mind it when it's hot, but when it's steamy hot and humid,
Yeah, it's
Jeff's
just
not a happy
nice.
boy when it's like that.
Yeah, it's just not nice.
Yeah.
But speaking of hot, you said that you drove up by the pool this morning. You drove up to check out the school, though.
Yeah, yesterday. Today's Tuesday, right? Yeah, I drove by yesterday. Because I wanted to see up at the school. They're doing a big project up at Berry City Elementary Middle School. The big parking lot on the right as you're coming up is something to do with the drainage. Looks like they've got it torn up. They're putting in all new storm drains and whatever. But as I went up, you can look at the pool as you're going up the hill there, and the pool looked like it was in great shape. The water is nice and clear and blue, and there were a lot of people there. So they must be doing well this summer. That's about the only good thing about this kind of weather is the
Right.
pool is busy.
Right, you can spend all that time there,
Yeah.
and all kinds of other things to do there as well.
Yeah.
With the playground and stuff
Yeah.
too. Yeah. Mountaineers, it's game day for the Vermont Mountaineers, and it's bounce house night. So they want to pack the park for the last home game of the season tonight. Montpelier Rec Field, 6:30 p.m. A bounce house on site, sponsored by Lamoille Valley Transportation, and it is, let me see, Sanford and Vermont.
Oh,
That's who's there tonight. So check that out, and you can tune in, I guess, on live on ESPN. That's pretty cool.
that's real cool.
That's cool that you can watch that
Yeah.
on ESPN. And then I just want to let others know too that the Facebook page, it's called Berry Friends of Education. They have posted a What is Act 73? And so if you want to learn a little more about Act 73 and the new education laws, go to their Facebook page, take a look, and they also have some links so that you can go right to the legislative page and check out those documents and learn more about what that is prior
Yeah.
to the start of school.
That's good.
I mean, there's going to be a lot of changes. Do you remember how many districts they pared it down to? But it was significant.
It's significant. It's not the 5 that the governor
Right.
wanted.
But maybe like 10 or 12
Yeah.
out of hundreds.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a huge change, for sure. Yeah.
It's so funny because I think back when I was in high school, there was thousands of kids in Spalding High School. I mean, graduating classes back in the 70s, it was nothing to have 300 plus graduating. And now, you notice that there's not as many graduating.
I have noticed.
There's more schools, and
Yeah.
there
I have
weren't
noticed that.
all these outlying schools that, back in the 60s and 70s that there are now.
Even in 1990, when I graduated, I believe there were a couple hundred kids.
Yeah.
It was a huge class. It was a big class. And now, sometimes not even 100.
Yeah, so I remember my older brother's class. He was the year before me. They had over 300, and we were just under 300. Yeah.
Yeah, it's times have definitely changed.
Yeah.
And of course, there are more schooling opportunities as well. There's more alternative schools and programs, and both through the city itself, the schools themselves, because you have the program that Spalding runs over at the other building, where you can get your diploma and all of that
Yep.
through that program. And then you have the other types of schools in the area and private schools.
Yeah.
So there are
Orchard
more
Valley,
opportunities.
Montessori.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then homeschooling,
Yeah.
which a lot more people do. So, and speaking of school, this year, Race to Read is participating in a collect the backpacks and back to school supplies for area children in need. So you can go to the Race to Read building on Thursday nights on July 31st, August 7th, and August 14th. The need this year is larger than last year, especially at the middle and high school levels. So please consider a donation. And I've shared that post, the Race to Read post, here on 802 Scoop, and it gives kind of a list of some things that pens, backpacks, pencils, highlighters, water bottles, binders, different things like that.
Yeah.
So it does give a list of suggestions of what you might pick up and put in those backpacks, or just maybe you can donate just a backpack and it can be filled with things that other
Sure.
people donate. But those can happen now on Thursday evenings, July 31st, August 7th, and August 14th. And that is at the Race to Read booth at the Thunder Road. So
Now, did they have the hood auction?
they did.
the-
They did. And I can't remember the guy's name that won. We did post it, but they did have the hood auction.
Yep.
And
Good.
And I I messaged out to them or did it in the replies that I'd love to see a picture of what they decided to do with it, whether they hang it on a wall, a ceiling, or put it on a car. Who knows? I don't know what they're going to do with it, but that did go.
Good.
Guess what race is this week?
What race?
I'm not sure that I've ever seen this. So Thunder Road.
Is this the porta potty race?
It is. I don't know that I've ever seen the porta potty race. It's this Thursday night, and it's the world famous porta potty Grand Prix.
So somebody's in the portalet, or whatever you call it, and I think there's one or two guys pushing it. I think that's what it is.
So they don't like Fred Flintstone it and try to run with this porta potty on.
No,
it or
I know.
anything,
I'm pretty
and
sure.
And they don't put wheels and an engine on.
No.
Porta potty.
I think somebody pushes it, but.
Interesting. Well, that is happening this Thursday night at Thunder Road. Interesting.
It is. If one guy got a really big lead in one, he could turn around and say he beat the shit out of everybody.
Very true. Very true. You make a very good point there. I never thought of it that way. Let's talk about the train horn.
Oh, the
Want
train
to talk
horn.
about the train horn?
We might as well.
So,
We've been talking about it for a couple weeks now. so.
Right. Well, I was surprised to see someone write that they've never heard anybody complain about the train horn. Well, I was like, what? Are you kidding me? We get messages all the time. I get messages, 802 Scoop gets messages, when are they going to do something about the train horn? What can be done about the train horn? When is the city going to do something about the train horn? And people complain about it frequently.
Yeah.
How loud it is, how often it sounds, how much it sounds through the town. Well, those same people aren't commenting, which is funny to me because you make the effort to make this complaint and say, can you check into this? And now we've checked into it, and I've gotten kind of some replies on some things, and I've put it out there, and crickets from the people that really can't stand the horn.
Yeah.
But a lot of pros about the horn and why. And somebody actually posted that there's going to be some upgrades to the and I think you were talking about
crossings,
it last week.
yeah.
Yeah, the crossings
The
by
crossings
Tron
at
Holding.
Yeah, and on is it Hill Street? Yeah.
Yeah, Hill Street.
Yeah.
Yep. Right behind Reynolds House, I
Yes.
think, right there.
That they're going to put the crossings with the gate, is what I understand.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Which I'm not so sure how well that's going to work at Hill Street, because
I'm not sure.
like I
either.
told you last week, something happened. The traffic was backed up on Hill Street from the Air Street, South Main Street intersection, all the way up to Stone's garage.
Yeah. Wow. And
And
backs up like there.
that's just because of that traffic light down there.
Right.
That lets two or three cars at the most go through there.
Right, and it's summertime. Never
Right.
mind when it's school and there's a ton of traffic
Yeah.
trying to get between those two spaces.
Yeah.
Which, all of that all goes back to West Patterson not being open and how horrible that is, and what a nightmare that is, that not having that route.
Right.
100% honest, if I'm on the south end during the school year when school gets out and I know I'm going to be coming through, because traffic a lot of times will be backed up all the way to Corey Hill.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you
I've
inch
seen
your way
that.
through
Yeah.
there. I always take Bridge Street and then come out on Allen
Yeah.
down
Prospect.
because then you're on this side, and it's
Yeah.
like literal minutes
Yeah.
to do that. I know the people on Allen Street probably wouldn't be happy about hearing that, but I often think that they do have that upper entrance at the school that was built, I think, only for when they were constructing and for other needs. But I think they should, if they can't have West Patterson, I think they should open that upper
Yeah.
exit so that people do have another way to access North
Yeah.
Main and to get out of there.
Yeah.
So that the people leaving or stagger the releases of Berrytown, Berry City,
Yeah.
so that they're not all coming down all at
Oh, yeah.
once.
Then throw buses in the mix there, and
Yeah,
one bus takes up like 2.5 cars.
yeah, it's insane. Things like that drive me more crazy than the train horn. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, I can understand why it's aggravating to people some days, sometimes, but truthfully, I always hear it in the morning when I'm out with the pups and I'm having my coffee. That's when I tend to hear the horn. But after that, I just don't hear it anymore.
Right. I can't remember how many runs they make up to Quarry Hill. 2 a day, maybe.
Less than they used to.
Yeah.
Way less than
Yeah.
they used to. And for a lot of years, it didn't run at all.
And people say, well, why does the horn blow, so quick? I mean, it blows and then there's maybe a few seconds and it blows again. It's because they have to blow it at every
At
road
each-
crossing.
right.
And there's multiple crossings from Willie Street to Prospect
Especially
Street.
when you get in the back parking lot.
Right.
Each outlet from those parking, little parking spaces out back, each outlet
Yeah.
from those is a crossing.
Yeah.
And so that horn stays on pretty much the entire way through the back parking
Yeah.
lot. I mean, it's just the way it is.
From, say, Blackwell Street Bridge. I mean, Willie Street's far enough down, so from Willie to Blackwell, you got a halfway decent time there. But once it gets to Blackwell Street, then it's got 63, then it's got Granite Street, and then it's got Prospect Street.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they've got the horn on all the time.
Right. And then, and then the parking lot out here that's pretty much nonstop. They have
Yeah.
to turn it on at Gusto's pretty
Yeah.
much and not turn it off until they get over Granite Street. Mm-hmm. If you
Yeah.
really go out there and you look at all of the outlets of
Yeah.
of the parking lots and the crosswalks and things like that in there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm not sure that there's anything different that they could do.
I'm almost used to it. You know it's going to happen during the day. Monday through Friday, it's going to happen.
Right, right. It's not, we don't have to deal with it in the middle of the night. There's
Right.
not, anything like that where it's going back and forth. My sister, she lives in Essex, and of course they have the Amtrak.
Yeah.
And they hear that train all hours of the day and night. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So it just, I don't know that there's a lot that even could be done. And people say, well, there's a 4-second, 2-second, 2-second rule. And which, okay, still, you get out here in this back parking lot after you've gone through Prospect Street by Gusto's, and you do that, but by the time you get done the second,
Yeah.
you need to be
You
on the
start the-
fourth
then
again
you start the
because you're at
fourth,
an
yeah.
intersection.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of I understand that for some, if you live right close to it or something, it probably does get
It is loud.
aggravating.
It is loud.
But yeah,
It's there. We just got to deal with it.
we do. And there are so many other things in the city, and definitely things that we want city council working on and doing other than, worrying about the whistle.
Right.
And I concern myself more with the leftover, the trash and the piles of old train track and the lumber and things like that. That's dangerous. And
Yeah.
it's got chemicals in it, and it's, I worry more about and wish they would pick that up, clean up the sides of the tracks more than I worry about the whistle.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
It's amazing how they'll do all that work, but then they just leave everything laying there.
Yeah, it is amazing.
That's the railroad. They can do what they want.
Right, they can do what they want,
Yeah.
and that's the thing is they really do trump anything,
Yeah.
everything that
Yeah.
they just do. But it's become quite the controversial post. It's up to 140 comments just on 802 Scoop. It's been shared to all the different community pages, and people are weighing in over there as well. So, and it's been shared 9 times, and there's definitely a lot of conversation, but there's nothing wrong with that good conversation
No.
and putting it out there, right?
Right.
But an even more heated topic, which I never would have dreamed on Saturday or Sunday, no, it was Sunday morning because it was a Sunday thing. On Sunday morning, I was outside. It was like 5:30. I was having my coffee out there with the dogs, and it was a beautiful morning, all quiet. Went inside. I think I did a load of laundry and did quiet things so I wouldn't wake up my dad. But at 7 o'clock, I made another coffee and went outside. And one of my neighbors was mowing his lawn, the guy like right behind my fence. And they're great people, by the way. So they're mowing the lawn, and the dogs bark at them for a second, like they do every time even a leaf moves, until they realize that that's what's happening. And I get them to quiet down. Well, then I hear another neighbor screaming at the neighbor mowing the lawn. Now, I'm still not convinced which was more annoying. The neighbor screaming at the other neighbor was probably more annoying because if you're worried about being quiet on a Sunday morning, for me, the lawnmower is kind of like white noise.
Yeah.
It's, you
Right.
sleep with a fan on, you do things
Yeah.
like that. You hear it, it's consistent. You're like, okay, somebody's mowing the lawn, and you can go back to sleep. I can, at least. I don't know. As long as it's nothing frightening of a noise that I'm not trying to inspect, right? Well, anyway, so one neighbor says to the other neighbor, do you know what effing time it is? And, is getting really pissed off.
You know what I would have yelled back? Time to mow the lawn.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, time to mow the lawn. But so a lot of people commented back, and they were like, screw you. And then there are a lot of people who feel it's rude. It's way too early on a Sunday morning. Sunday's a day of rest. And I think that at one time, people had that mentality a lot more where nobody did anything on Sundays, really. You got up, you went to church, usually at a family dinner or dinners as a neighborhood, and it, you didn't work, you didn't do those things. But that doesn't. We're so far away from that now. It's just not the way life is. I mean, some people work crazy hours. It rains, the heat, the whatever. You got to do stuff when you can do it, right?
Exactly.
For all anybody knows, one, he could have been wanting to beat the heat or the rain, but maybe worked all freaking night, and he's doing it before he goes to bed. And I'd rather have the lawn mowed than have it grown all up and looking like crap.
Yeah.
If you're in a nice neighborhood or any neighborhood, But I couldn't believe how controversial that ended up getting. I was surprised by it. I thought that it was people would just answer yes, yes, it's too early, no, it's too early, no, it's not too early, or maybe this is a better time or something. No. Big, huge, long comments. People really had a lot to say about that.
Well, I'm sure they did. I remember my parents had a neighbor once that said they should never mow on Sunday.
Uh-huh.
And that was like, all right, if you're going to do it on the weekend and Saturday rains and you got to get it done because you're going to start working on Monday again.
Right.
That's the only day you can do it.
Right, exactly.
If you get home from work, I mean, this time of year, the days are getting shorter now. So, in another month or so, it's going to get dark earlier. So you got to get it done when you've got the opportunity
and
to
you
do
come
it.
home from work, and you still got to be a parent. You got to get supper.
Right.
You got to do this. You got to do that. And so do you prefer that the lawn mowing happens after dinner at possibly 7:30, or later at night where the kids are trying to go to bed, whatever? It's a catch-22.
Yeah.
And I just say, there are worse noises that somebody could be making. There worse things could be happening in your neighborhood.
Right.
And my biggest thing here, especially in the city, is the clapped out cars that are riding around all day, every day. that is more annoying to me than a lawnmower will ever be. You know, that is not a consistent noise. It's startling. It's obnoxious. It's just not necessary. Mowing the lawn is necessary.
Yeah, it would, what was it, 7 o'clock?
Yeah.
That's not that bad.
Yeah,
It was like
7.
5 maybe, I'd
It was,
get a little pissy, but.
yeah, when I went out there, it was like 7. Well, that's just it. When I went out at 5 to have 5, it was like 5:15 when I went out there the first time and just had my coffee and the Cardinals were singing and whatever. And I don't know. If you want to go outside in the morning and have peace, then you better be out there before 7 in the morning, right? Maybe even before 6:30.
Yeah, I mean, guy might work, he might work 6 days a week, who knows? And
Yeah,
that was his chance to do his lawn.
yeah. And,
Get over it.
Right. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But I was just surprised. And I put the question out there, not because I was complaining, because I really wanted to know if other people were that, like, felt that strongly about it. And that you should not mow before. I think most people that chimed in with the time, most people said 9 o'clock. You shouldn't do anything before 9 o'clock on a Sunday.
Yeah.
But
So I'd say go in between 8 o'clock.
right.
But
It's
it's funny because it was a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, that was posted a lot from people in Montpelier on Facebook. But this was mowing at night. People were mowing at night.
Yeah.
And somebody said maybe they work a late shift. They don't get out of work till 8 o'clock at night, and that's the only time they have to mow their lawn. As long as it's still light out.
Yeah.
What's the big deal?
Or maybe that, like I said, maybe they're just parents and they get home from work and they have to do dinner and this and that and the other thing, or take a kid to the baseball field or the pool or God knows what, swimming lessons, and you get home and that's when you have the time to do it. So that's when you do it.
It's rained for 3 days, so now it's one nice day and you've got to get it done.
Right, you've got to get it done. Or it's a little bit cooler, or whatever reason. I mean, the reason shouldn't matter. If that's when somebody can do it and get it done, or that's when they decide to do it, that's like whatever.
I think I'd rather hear the lawnmower than somebody screaming at somebody at the top of their lungs,
Well, that's what I was thinking. If I had heard the scream, if I had been sleeping and heard that other neighbor screaming, that's what would have disturbed me far more than the mower. Yeah. I just thought it was interesting how many people chimed in and what the thoughts were. It was not at all what I expected. I thought, maybe a few people will comment, whatever, and
So what was the majority? Were they saying that it's okay?
The majority was it's okay. And the majority felt really strongly about it and even got a little bit nasty about it. And maybe, and so the other people were thinking, okay, well, you don't got to be rude about it. But, and then,
there are people.
And I wrote right in my post, I'm not complaining. This is literally just a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, there are people that they may be a little OCD or whatever that, oh, it's Thursday, it's mowing day. Oh,
Right,
it doesn't rain, I got to get this lawn done.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. You never know.
Yeah.
And certainly people do all kinds of things that is disturbing. I know actually a resident of the city who has a business in her neighborhood that's not supposed to be there. They work a full-time job, but they have a business that they run out of their home, and maybe they solely do that now. I cannot remember the whole, but at one point it was only happening at night, and it's loud. It's tools running and things like that, and of all hours of the night, sometimes 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, there's still tools running, things like that, the music on in the garage, that kind of thing. That would piss me off.
That would bother the hell out of me.
Yeah, that would
I wouldn't
piss
be
me
able to
off.
sleep.
No, that is something that, like I said, it's not like this consistent noise of the lawnmower or whatever, just mowing, and lawnmowers have come a long ways. They're not as loud and horrible as they used to be, and But that somebody having a business like that and running their operation at night, even especially in the summer, if you're outside with your family trying to have dinner on the deck, whatever, and enjoy some company or whatnot, and that's all you keep hearing is all of this racket, that would piss me off.
Yeah, that would get to me.
Yeah, especially because it's a business that's not supposed to exist where it exists, and they've been told a few times. I'd probably get pretty pissed off too, and have to continue to say something until that was dealt with.
I can't see you doing that.
No, I'm usually pretty quiet about everything.
Yeah.
I don't say much about anything very often at all. I don't want to cause a ruckus. And I.
Well, that's when you go to your accessories, like
That's right. That's
which is
right.
just sitting right here if I need it.
Yeah. The bell.
No,
No.
the hat.
Oh, the hat.
The hat.
Yes, the hat. That's one of my favorite pieces of clothing that I
You
own.
were chomping at the bit to put it on the other night there. That was
I really was.
yes. That was good. That was I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it.
Michael says his guess is that the neighbors probably have a history or a dislike toward one another.
Well, that's
and
quite
with
possible.
the lawn mowing thing, and that's what I mean. Yeah, that's possible too. Or
Could be.
somebody just was really grumpy that day, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Or it could be an ongoing thing, and then so the guy that is mowing says, "Screw you, buddy! I'm going to do it every morning at
that's
7 o'clock now."
That's right.
Yeah.
That would
Not
would
my
be
neighbor.
good. Yeah, exactly. Jeff is antagonizing me, Michael.
No, I'm not.
I let him try on my hat, and it fits him well, just so you know.
And I like it.
He does like my hat, my green hat. That hat is, like I told you, that is the best money I ever spent on those green hats, ever. It was well worth it. I figure it was a great trade for like the torment that I was put through
Yeah.
by council and by
I remember that.
the former mayor. Yeah. Yes, he's poking the bear. Yeah,
I'm carefully poking.
he's
'Cause
carefully.
I think I know where the limit is.
Yeah. I know all of you like to wind me up. That's all. You just that I'll get myself into trouble somehow, some way. But last night they had a Ward 1 meeting, kind of like what they had in the North End at the Moutois. They had one of those at the library. And it was Ward 1. I believe Sonia Spalding and Beth Hill-Gardner put that together, invited people to come talk about the grants. And I'm not saying that whole thing. It's CDG something grants. But they set that up and invited people to come to the library to kind of have the same conversation that was had on the North End, maybe a little bit different, or maybe even some would consider a lot of bit different because the damages were different, but the mitigation and the ideas and the things that need to be done maybe as in a preventative manner are still relative and the same. And especially because it's above us, right? And so what's up there comes down here. And so that happened last night at the library. Michael was there. He did stream it live. We had a little trouble with the audio. For the most part, you can understand every once in a while when somebody else is talking because there's not individual mics being passed around or anything. It's a little muffled or appears that it goes in and out a little bit, but the gist of it and the majority of it is there on 802 Scoop, and you can go back and watch that. It was, I think it was a good meeting. It wasn't as heavily attended as the one on the North End, but they had a lot of good information, and I think it was a good meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
It was I mean, everybody's got to start somewhere, right? And
Yeah.
put their ideas and plan on the table. So far, though, I think the only true plans that I've heard or suggestions or, here's my list have been from the mayor, Tom Lozon, and then from Councillor Guston,
Yeah.
Amanda Guston. So those are the only two true plans, even though, that I think everybody has the opportunity to do it. You can do it if you want to, right? And I don't know where they stand with the community weigh-ins, because there was some forms that people could
Right.
fill out and
Yeah.
submit if they wanted. But will we hear about those soon? Do you know?
Probably. Well, there's not a meeting until next Tuesday.
Right, until next
So
Tuesday.
we had a 2-week, kind of a 2-week vacation.
Right.
But yeah, we're back next Tuesday. And I'm sure, it's going to be a continuous discussion regarding, resiliency plans and, bridges, dredging, or excuse me, maintenance.
Maintenance, right?
Riverbed maintenance.
Michael used the dreaded D word
Did he?
Last night. Yeah, he was corrected, but he's like, I know. But he did also mention, which, and I thought was interesting, and I forgot to mention this to him last night, but he talked about different plants and planting different plants above us, and that would help, and plants that really consume a ton of water, and that can be helpful. If you go up into Beckley Hill Meadow, they have put in not only these ponds, retention ponds, but they have planted all of these very specific plants.
Where's Beckley Hill Meadow? Is that
It's right up off
Fecto project?
the Fecto project. Yep, where the
Above
and it's
St. Monica Cemetery?
yeah, and it's where like the condos are
Yeah.
and the houses and things like that. It's all
Yeah.
up in there. But they did that. They have a bunch of these clusters, especially where there's a bank or anything like that, or maybe a different swing in the road, where they've planted all these very specific plantings in a very specific pattern and spot to help with that, to help with the watershed. And so if I think that maybe it would be good for people to go up there and check it out, or maybe even contact Fecto and have them come in and have a chat about that and explain. I believe that is Jim
Yeah,
that would be in
probably,
charge of
yeah.
that. But have them come in and explain what they did and why they did it, and what, who helped them figure all of that out. Because I think that it's always worrisome, and especially when the council, when you all are talking about Prospect Street Heights, and people are concerned about the number of houses that are going up there and how it's going to be developed, if people start talking about those things ahead of time, and so that people know that those kinds of things are being looked at and done, maybe it would ease the tensions a little more.
Yeah.
If the, I don't know, but they are cool, and I know because doing advertising for them, I've been up there, and they've pointed those out and said, this is why we have those. And they're pretty cool. There's some neat looking plants in there.
I have to go and look at that. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's neat. It's there's several of them, and they're around those little type ponds as well that they have. There's several of those.
See, that's nice that they do that. That will, the retention ponds help. Another thing that hasn't been done in years is, the debris from previous floods is still sitting in the brooks that come in from like Plainfield and come through Barry, Gunner Brook. I walked Gunner Brook after the 2015 flood, and that's that was when just Maple Avenue and North Main Street flooded, and there was so much debris in there, And it still hasn't been picked up. There's
Right.
trees all over the place up there that have fallen, blocking the river. If you don't clean that up.
Well, and that's why I think that Michael also made the point that because I believe it was Sue Higbee who said, we can do all of that stuff and we can do, clean out the river, brook, whatever you want to call it here, because I agree it's not really a river, most of these, that you can do all of that, but then what does poor Montpelier do? Because we're like the floodgates open and we're sending it all down the line. And Michael said, a regional plan would be what you're looking at.
Right.
You want all your neighbors to kind of follow suit so that we can all be protected. And but it's a long time. None of it is going to happen. Even if you talk about it today, it's going to be probably 2 years before any of this starts getting worked on. Nothing. And so in my mind, we talk about these plans and we get the ball rolling, but we also need to have plans that can happen right now. An alarm, some sort of, there used to be on the horn would sound in the city.
Yeah.
And things like that. We need to have alert systems. And I know they use the text app and the email stuff through Regroup now, and that's amazing. I get that, but not everybody has a cell phone.
Right.
There are still a lot of older people that still have the phone hanging on the wall, and if you're lucky, they have the hands-free, the cordless phones in the house. But I know a lot of older people that still have a phone hanging on the wall, a dial-up phone hanging on the wall. I know a lot of older people that have cell phones as well. But just because they have them, it doesn't mean that they also understand how to use all of that. They have them for safety reasons, usually because their kids have gotten them and want them. If you leave the house, make sure you take your phone. And, they've been shown how to call and different things. And then there are some that know how to do all of that stuff.
You tell them, all you got to do is download this app. Do what to who?
Right, exactly. My dad cringes at all of that. He just saw his doctor last week, and they wanted to do the follow-up visit on via Zoom, and he freaked out. He was like, he wants nothing to do with that. If you can't see me in person, I'm not going at all, and that's insurance fraud as far as he's concerned. Things like that. I mean, he was very, very upset by that. Yeah. That was not happening. And I'm sure a lot of people. So I think there are things that can be done immediately. And riverbed maintenance would be one.
Yeah.
And two, at least get the debris out of there. If you don't dig it down and you don't take out the sludge to make it lower, at least get the debris out there. Maybe make some safeguards so that you don't have, they talked about dumpsters and other things going over the banks and into the river. Now I know places like Cumberland Farms, they have those cages, those fence cages around dumpsters, and maybe those can happen and be required of businesses along the river, or and the same thing for oil tanks. Some people have the fences around them and things like that. I don't know, but I would think that, yes, you want to plan, but to have something more immediate is needed
and
too.
those are easy fixes,
Right, those
securing
are
the tanks.
easy. And they're things that are affordable that can happen right now, and that are, some places may need assistance getting those things done, but some won't. But having those ideas, knowing how to do them, knowing how to get, the resources to do them, and then, the emergency alert. Why did they stop blowing the horn on top of, or blasting the horn for emergencies? Do you know?
It was, wow.
Is it because there's way too many emergencies
I don't
now?
know.
Are they blasting all the time?
I only remember it being used for
Get in the house.
fires. For fires, because there was pull boxes, those little red boxes they had on the poles.
Yeah.
Those are pull boxes. Once you pulled that, it sounded that alarm, and you counted the alarm. So like 522. I think that was the one for Howard Street and Center Street, and that's how the firemen knew where to go. So, your call people, extras, volunteers, whatever they were. So they wouldn't have to run all the way to the station. They could go right to a spot where that alarm was. I don't know why they ever took that system out, but they also used it as the curfew.
Yeah.
That was
Because there was like a horn near
10 of
the
9.
post office somewhere, right?
10 of
There was
9. It was, I think one was on the auditorium, and the other one I think was on Allen Lumber. And that was the thing. It was 10 of 9 at night. That thing blew.
Yeah, and you knew that you better. And then I think that it blew when there was a big fire
When there
or
was fires,
a problem.
yes.
Yep,
Yep.
it blew then.
Yep.
And then, of course, I don't know if they still do the whistle in the quarry. I think I've become numb to that if they do. But they used to always blow the lunch hour whistle as
Yeah,
well.
the granite sheds had that right down here in the city too.
Yeah, you
they
could
had the
hear
lunch
it.
whistle. Yep.
Yep. And that stuff you don't hear anymore. I don't know why. I wonder why. But seems like that would be an easy fix to put up some sort of horn.
You'd think it would.
And
But then everybody came out with this, computerized era now where, we'll just have everybody sign up for this thing and you'll get an alert right on your phone. Well, like you said, not everybody has a cell phone, and some have a real modest plan, baseline plan where they
Right.
can only use it to make calls, and that's
Exactly.
it. And
Yeah.
that's not going to help them.
No, not at all. And that's the thing, is some of them are not even equipped, especially the ones, like I said, the ones that are used for older people that you get through AARP and other things like the jitterbug, things like that. They're not even Wi-Fi capable.
Right.
They're literally just, and in most cases, they're even flip phones still. They don't even look like the square, your phone. They just don't. I do everything with mine. I can't.
You need both. That's,
I use it as a computer. I use it to do literally everything.
Yeah.
My entire life is on my phone, which is a scary thought, but I do everything with it.
oh yeah. You
I
can
can't.
watch the news. You can, that's the thing though. You get alerts. And
Yeah,
that's
send
what
your emails, write emails, make posts, do anything you want with your phone. But not all of them have all of those
Right.
capabilities, for sure. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what comes out, and I know, like I said, I know they're good conversations, they're needed conversations,
Right.
but I think we also need to be talking conversation here now. What can we do immediately? Like
Right.
we've sent this list off. This list is going to take, even if the grant money is given, that list is going to take years to accomplish.
Right.
It's not going to happen tomorrow by any means. There really needs to be talks about things that can happen today, tomorrow,
Right.
weeks from now. And so I hope that people start doing that too.
You want to work on the small things, the quick fixes, the small things like, cleaning up the brooks and the rivers, and work your way to the bigger things.
Right, and those are all things that the community can get involved
Yeah.
with as well. That's the good part, is that those are things
Like
that everyone can do.
every spring, I don't know if Montpelier does, I think Barry does it, but they have the river cleanup in the spring. When people are around, they pull crap out. And
Yeah.
maybe you ought to do it twice a year.
And somebody at the meeting on the north end said there used to be an old, I think he called it a D6, that sat down there and took stuff out,
Yeah.
like would literally pick stuff out of the river. Somebody brought their machine down, and that's what they did.
And see, we did that, and like when Hurricane Irene was coming, we had meetings, and we stationed excavators at what we knew were problem places, like Brook Street, before we took out the bridge and got rid of the Harrington Avenue Bridge. We would post. In fact, if we didn't have enough equipment, we rented equipment from like Lodge&S and other guys, and we'd have excavators at places that we knew the water was going to get caught up in something, and that's where all the debris was going. So we had someone there sitting in an excavator, and they would see it coming. They'd start pulling the stuff right out.
Yep. We'll see. It's almost time to go. So before we go, I want to tell everybody about a raffle that we're doing. So a couple of weeks ago, we did the first annual Highway to Heart memorial ride. It was in memory of Chris Fisk, and there was there has been a recipient chosen for that memorial ride, and his name is Matt Rickert, and the ride was, I mean, it was successful. We had people come, there was donations. It could have been bigger. There could have been more people. It just happened to be there. A lot of other events were happening that day as well. And this family is still really in need. They are in a situation where Matt remains in the hospital waiting for a heart. He got the call. I think I was live. I don't remember if it was live with you or what the case may be, but when I got word that there was a heart and the heart was coming and they were prepping him for the transplant. Well, the heart arrived and something was wrong with it. And so the surgery that night, it was not last Friday, I think last Thursday. It was scratched. They couldn't do it. And so he remains in the hospital. His wife is there with him, staying right with him now full time, because he's in a real fragile state, and you just don't know. And so, as most can imagine, that's costly. It's not cheap to be staying down there in Boston. They have children. It's been a huge strain, for sure, on the family. So we have teamed up with a couple of sponsors. And the first sponsor was The Den, who the day of the ride not only donated the venue, but all of the food that day for that ride, and has since done a monetary donation to the family. And then we have Rickert Auto, who has generously donated a complete undercoating to us to auction off. So, and then Vermont Quick Lube in Southbury has donated a complete full synthetic oil change. So for $20, you can buy a ticket for your chance to win one of those two prizes.
Wow.
We're only going to sell 100 tickets, and as soon as we sell all 100 tickets, then we'll announce, okay, the tickets are gone, and this is the day we're going to do the drawing, and we'll have Sam down here. Sam Fisk will come in, and we'll do the drawing live for the winner on here on 802 Scoop. So to win one of those prizes, you just got to let Sam or I, Sam Fisk or I know, or message 802 Scoop and let us know that you would like one of those raffle tickets, or more than one of those raffle tickets. I don't know if most people know, but a full undercoat is worth at least $300.
Wow.
So to pay $20 for that would be a pretty good deal. I had a chance to win that. So $20 per ticket. We're only going to sell 100 tickets, and reach out. We would love to gather this money together and get these funds situated for the family, because they really need our help. This has been quite the time. So, yeah, check it out. All of the information is right on the page. And there is also now a page for Matt Rickert that kind of gives updates and stuff at where he's at and what's happening. So,
That's good. I know the Granite City Blast baseball team that's going to Cooperstown.
Yes.
See, I goofed last week and said the council meeting was tonight, but there is no council meeting tonight.
Right.
So they're coming to the council next Tuesday
week.
night, the 3rd, 5th.
And then they leave like the following
They
weekend,
leave on
don't
they leave on the 10th or the 11th. And right now they're looking for donations for Oh, things that they might need while they're there, snacks and things like that.
Right, sunscreen, bug spray.
Yeah.
I saw it. There's quite a list.
Yeah.
They have an Amazon list.
Yeah,
We've been sharing that.
Yeah.
So that people, and they do have a deadline of when which I believe was like maybe the 7th or 8th
Yeah.
of when they need those items by,
Yeah.
so that they can take them with them.
Yep. So,
It was awesome.
so they'll be at the council next Tuesday
They
night.
did a great job in the parade.
Yeah.
Yes, they
Yeah.
did. Their float was cute. They did a great job. I wasn't surprised. I mean, everything they do is amazing.
Like I've said it before. They're a good bunch of kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun to see them. There was actually a lot of really good floats in the parade this year.
Was there?
A lot of people really took the time and did a great job. Yeah. Still my favorite though, hands down, is that damn jazzercise, because I just can't comprehend. Those women are amazing. And a couple of gentlemen this year.
So they keep in time. They're like,
Yeah, and I couldn't do that from the auditorium to the bottom of Auditorium Hill. Never mind from the auditorium to the park. Somebody be peeling me off the ground. Like, holy cow. And our wonderful city clerk, Cheryl, out there
Yeah.
leading the way.
Oh, yeah.
Because she is very jazzercise.
she's Ms.
She is.
Jazzercise.
That's right. And like, she's just out there, this big smile on her face, all this energy, and she's just trucking right down. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh. And it was freaking hot. It was hot. I have so much admiration and respect for them.
So I marched last year with our 50th reunion Spalding class, and man, just walking down there, and it was hot last year too. And some of the guys were riding on the truck, and they had super soakers. So I told them, I said, once in a while, just kind of spray me
Right.
down.
Spray
so,
this
yeah,
way. Yeah.
my
Please,
mistake.
Please.
Yeah.
They made sure you were
I
soaked.
was
Then
soaked.
you went from the 50th reunion to a wet T-shirt contest.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Pretty much. That's
Yeah.
what you did.
Yeah.
Dangerous ass you've got there. And I believe the next parade will probably be Veterans Day.
Veterans Day. Yeah.
Yeah. November. I don't think there's.
We'll have the
anything
big
else in
flag out
between.
again. I love
Well,
the big
I
flag.
love it. There's something about it that is
Yeah.
just such a piece. And
It's nice now, though. Tracy's got the banner that goes up.
yes,
That's cool.
yes, it is nice. Very nice.
I think the flag should be up more often than it is.
Me too. If it hung all summer, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice to see.
Yeah.
I think they should. We have windows. They could literally hang it on the front of this building if they wanted to. There's a big
Yeah.
granite wall out there.
Well.
At least it'd be up, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be cool. Anyway, we will let you go for now. We'll see you on Thursday at noon. Four Quarters with Lori Shepard will be here tomorrow night at 5:30. Tune in to see them and hear all about what they've got going on for sports.
Boy,
And-
the women's
and-
softball league must be winding up now too.
Yes, yes.
We're at the end of July.
We are already at the end of July.
Jeez.
It's frightening. Michael says, you as a counselor can make it happen, Jeff. The flag hanging
That's right,
longer.
because that was a council decision to make that little rule in what flags could hang where.
No, the big one counts in that whole thing. I thought that was
The
just
big one has certain dates. It was set by council, certain dates that the flag could hang there.
ugh.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Bhutan, but
I thought that was just only for the ones that were like in the park or
no, that it also included date specific that big flag
that
could
the
hang
big
out. yeah.
flag.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Michael says you're welcome.
How's that, Michael? Like that too?
Do you like his hat, Michael? Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you soon. Stay cool and stay safe.